some growing concerns about what questions were leaked that we now can see and why they were leaked when it came to the President of the United States. Somehow the world got exposure to some, close to 40-plus questions here detailing what Bob Mueller wants to know for President Trump if he had an opportunity to sit down with him. So that immediately raised some questions as to, are these the questions that he genuinely wants to ask? And then who the heck leaked them? Who knows this better than our Judge Napolitano, one of the smartest legal minds I know in the world?
Well, I wish I knew who leaked them.
Yeah, I could make a point that it would be someone in the administration, right?
I could make a point that it would be someone on the president's legal team who wanted the president to see what rabbit holes, what pitfalls, what problems would be presented. Each one of these questions, Bob Mueller knows the answer to, and each one is a starting point to a series of many, many other questions about the topic of the starting point. It may at first blush look like the president has the command of facts to answer a lot of these, but when you analyze some of them, they're very treacherous. There's one in particular, the likes of which I have not seen before in all the literature and all the legal arguments. If you forgive me, I want to read it precisely. What knowledge do you have, if any, of outreach by your campaign, including Paul Manafort, to Russia about potential assistance to the campaign? That is white hot. That goes right to the argument of what we're calling collusion. Under the law, it's called conspiracy, an agreement to accept assistance from a foreign person, entity, or government. What knowledge do you have? If he says no, Mueller must have evidence that he has some knowledge with which to challenge that. If he says yes, that's the end of his presidency. If he knew about this and went along with it.
Do you get a sense that, and I understand what you're saying with the legal team, where maybe by this coming to the president's attention and seeing these potential questions and all of that, he might think twice about talking to Mueller?
I hope he does. It's a very dangerous environment for him, because any white lie, even one that is not intentional, can result in an indictment. This is a strange environment that the courts have permitted, where the government can lie to you. The government can use trickery and deception and traps. But if you lie to the government, this is the Martha Stewart case, you can be indicted. Martha Stewart.
And that applies to the President of the United States as well?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Because Mueller couldn't kick that to the government and say, this is, you in Congress decide whether this is an impeachable matter.
Well, there's a question as to what Mueller would do. Right. Mueller could get an indictment, and the question is anybody going to prosecute him while he's a sitting president? Most Justice Department regulations say no.
Yeah.
You file the indictment to stop the running of the statute of limitations, but you can't prosecute until after he leaves office. Or he could not indict the president, shift this over to the House of Representatives, which, if the Democrats take control this November, absolutely all bets are off.
But this is a president, I caught you earlier, you make so many fine appearances on these two networks. He is supremely competent.
Yes.
So he might feel, look at the 40-some-odd questions, whatever they are, and it's like a take-home test. So these look good. I can handle these.
And I can hear Rudy Giuliani, whom we both know very well.
Right.
Mr. President, we got to prepare you. Yeah, I'll give you 1 or 2 minutes on each question. 1 or 2 minutes? There are potentially thousands of documents behind each of these 40 questions.
That's what you're like with every one of our anchors. Like when you come up here, oh, my God, do I have to tell you about the law? I noticed some of the questions go back to obstruction of justice, and I'm wondering, well, we're told all the time, Judge, the president's not a target. A, do you believe that? And B, do you think on these other matters where he seems that is Mueller to be getting into obstruction of justice, he is on to frying other fish?
I think that Bob Mueller told the truth when he said the president's not a target. It's a technical term. A target means we are going to indict you. Do you want to give us some reasons that would maybe give us a little pause? A subject is a person still under criminal investigation. One can go from a subject to a target like that, depending upon what answers come out of one's mouth.
Would an investigator, prosecutor hold it against you if you never talked to him?
Probably emotionally, but not legally. He has every right not to talk to them, and I strongly encourage him to exercise that right.
All right. Now, Richard Nixon never talked to prosecutors in the Watergate episode, right?
Correct.
Bill Clinton did. It didn't go well.
Correct.
So the history on this is what?
Well, the history of people talking to prosecutors, people who prosecutors are thinking of indicting is that it usually makes it worse for them, because the prosecutors know the case far better than the subject of the investigation possibly could. But you have a very strong-willed person who's extremely self-confident, who doesn't like to use an economy of words. If he goes off on one of those rants like he did on Fox and Friends, the prosecutors, where he admits to things that he hasn't even been asked about or accused of, the prosecutors will have a field day.
Separately, some Republicans are looking to find impeachment grounds on Rod Rosenstein. Where is all of that going? I know it's a separate little deal.
To me, that's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
If the Congress subpoenas an official of the executive branch, he doesn't comply with the subpoena, the remedy is contempt. Impeachment of Rod Rosenstein is the same as impeachment for the president. Treason? No. Bribery? No. Other high crimes or misdemeanors? No. But you want to hold him in contempt and tarnish his legal career, even potentially incarcerate him because he won't give you documents? That's the remedy.
But we're looking at business transactions. Trump Organization going back years. Is this veering out of control?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Judge, you're the best.
Pleasure, Neil.
I'm glad I was able to teach you about the law.
Yes, you're a very good teacher.
He is scary good. But you got to be here during the commercial breaks, my friend, because they are funny. It's just like a rapid fire.
I have to tell Gasparino how good a teacher you are.
Yeah, wouldn't that be true?